Hey everybody, it's Kelly back with you with day 5 of my December daily. And I have my book back again because I wanted to show you something. I've been giving you little tips and tricks. I'll run out of these eventually, but I just thought of this one. I have my book and I store the pages in the book because that's where they're safest, with blank page protectors behind in all the different sizes. And then at the very back, I keep photographs that I've taken and might want to use if I print them. So like this is a photo of my Christmas tree. And then this is a photo of some decorations I took. And I told you about that the other day, that I'll save, that I might use this on a day where I don't have a story. And what I do is I just use one of the 6x8 page protectors and put them in there. This is another one, another kind of tip here. I will do a page about wrapping, and then I'll also do a page about the money that I've spent during Christmas. And let me see if I can find that from last year quick. I love to do those because it helps me kind of look at what I've done year to year. Okay, so here's my spread from last year. So I have my Christmas list, how much I spent on each item, what it was, and I keep this list on my iPad and also my phone. And so what I did is I have that all down and everybody's presents and how much I spent. I have a picture of wrapped gifts, and then I have a all the receipts from all of those things with a piece of the wrapping paper I used behind. And in this particular case, I didn't put any the next day's photographs here. I just put a little decoration here. So I like to do that every year. I like to somehow use a wrapping paper. I like to keep the receipts. Now this year, I started shopping really early, so I don't have a ton of receipts like I normally would because I didn't save a couple of the receipts that I should have. So that'll be kind of interesting. I won't have as many this year. And one of the things that I was thinking about is I have these bags from Pebbles, and I was thinking about this year maybe storing those receipts in here. And I started doing this a few years ago when I was buying presents for my grandkids, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't, like if I needed a receipt to take anything back, I had it. So that's what I did. So anyway, this is kind of what I'm thinking about doing this year. And what I could do is do one spread with the list and then a picture and maybe a piece of the wrapping paper, and then I can punch this and just put it in here. I like to do that with little inserts and stuff like that. So that's, and actually I have 2 bags here. So because I wanted to remember that I was thinking about doing it so I didn't forget when it was time to make that page, what I did is I just stuck this in a 6x8 page. Then the other thing I have back here is I have a calendar that I got on the web, and I will try to go back and find this. If you go back to my prep video, I believe, or my cover video, I have a link to my Pinterest board, and these are in my December daily Pinterest board. I'll try to remember to provide that as well too, but I didn't know I was going to talk about this until I just started. So here's that calendar, and then what I'll do is I'll write events on it during the course of December, because they have just the December calendar, and I'm okay with that. And then at the end, I decide what I'm going to do. Sometimes this is the very last page in my book. Sometimes I've put it elsewhere in the book as well too, if I needed a filler. But usually it's either my last page here on this side, or what I'll sometimes do is I will put it on the back cover here, because a lot of times I do decorate my cover front and back, and I'll show you last year's because I did put it on my cover. See, here it is last year, and I filled out the fun things that I did, and even things like mailing Christmas cards and different events and that kind of thing. So that's on here. And then I just decorated the front cover with a little 3x4 card that says, "These days are filled with joy and love. You can feel the magic in the air." So that's another idea for you. Just so my covers are decorated on the inside, but very, very easily. So anyway, just a hint here that you can store things in Sometimes if I have time to print photos but don't have time to do it, like what I'll do is I'll take a photo for my next couple of days, like when I'm working, if I have time to print the photos, I'll stick it in a page protector I like, stick it in my book and save it that way until I get time to do the photos. And that'll start happening for me fairly soon. I think I said in my video yesterday, you're not necessarily going to see one of these daily. I think this week you probably will, or something close, but after that I may start combining videos. So you might see me doing like days 7 and 8 or something together. But anyway, so here is those are a couple of ideas for how you can use your book for storing things as well, just to kind of keep them in top of the mind, because I keep flipping through this and keep opening it and that kind of stuff. So anyway, on to today's. So today is one of those things that I worked, nothing really exciting happened, and I'm going to use a photo that I had gone to use. I can't even think that I went to use, or that I photographed the other day, and said there was a really important story behind this. And as I'm looking at this, I managed to get, it was sitting on my desk the other day, and I managed to get a little bit of adhesive on it. So I am going to try to take that off. We'll see. With a little undo, and the adhesive remover. And I think it actually worked. So sometimes when I do that, it takes a little bit for the color. Yep, I got it. So that's very exciting. So that came off. But if you don't have this stuff, it's awesome. It also takes the glue and stuff off my desktop. Before, I protect my desktop now, but I didn't for many years. And I, you know, the desk is really beat up, but that's okay. It's my work desk. So anyway, that's a little tip there too. Undo. Okay, so this photo I cut down a little bit because I knew I was going to want some sort of pattern paper background or a 4x6 card background. And the 4x6 cards, this is a little bit big for the 4x6 cards. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're using these page protectors. What I would really ideally like is if I could maybe find just a 4x6 card that I don't think I'll use for anything else, and I can put it on this. So I'm going to grab my... This is my Elf Studio Joyful journaling tags, and the 3x4s won't work. But we've got 'Tis the Season and this blue card. Now I love this blue card, but there's a very small place to write here. And I love the card, the color of the card. You don't see much of the pattern with this, but you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Let's go with this one. Isn't that awesome? How quickly you can do these things. Okay, so now we have that down. And this one I'm going to talk about music and my love for music. Okay, so now you can see how really deep that is. I think you can see. And how much of this, how big it is around that. But that's okay. So there's that. I'm going to need a journaling card. This is a fairly serious, going to be a fairly serious spread. Here's a Fa La 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 card, which normally I would think would be really cool because I'm going to talk about songs, except I use the Fa La La wood veneer from 2 days ago, and I don't think I want to repeat that quickly. Here's a Christmas tree or a tree card. Here's one that says Joyful, which reminds me, I have a wood veneer joy. And there it is. Aha, okay. We're definitely use that. Okay, so I talked about this in one of my other videos. My word this year, my one little word this year is joy. And so I wanted to use this at least somewhere in my book just because it's so important. And I think with the personalness nature of this story, that's going to be perfect. Basically, the story is that I had a very hard year. The last 2 years have been pretty tough, but 2 years ago at Christmas was just awful. And I couldn't even listen to Christmas music, and I love Christmas music. It was one of those Christmases where I just went through the motions. And I listened to it a little bit last year, but not full blown. This year, about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I just really could hardly wait to listen to the music, and I downloaded a bunch on my iPod, so I want to talk about that. So I'm definitely going to use that joy, because that's what this year was all about for me. Now, the question is, the spread across from this has quite a bit of green in it. See the green and red in that spread, and I don't want them to look like they don't belong together, so I'm going to want to use some green in this spread as well. I think I'm going to like that here, but we'll see. So I want to use some sort of card that brings in the green somehow, right? And there wasn't a green here, but this is green. Haha. And what I could do is cut this down to a 3x4 so that I have that. I'm going to do one more thing and check. I could use this I heart this as well. But I think I like the 'Tis the Season because, you know, talking about the music, I think that's important. There's a lovely green heart in the kit. So that could be really nice to use on that right there somewhere, somehow. Okay. And I forgot all about all these. I've got a magic found here. Ooh, this is kind of cute too. A lot of white. Seems okay. Now, my one thing is that I have, this is kind of nice because it does bring in the green from across the way plus the blue in here. So I like that. I have things coming apart here. I also have that little banner that I could put on here. That's a possibility. But I need to find something to go behind here. And I'm thinking I'm going to go back to my papers. And if I could find a stripe, that would be ideal. Here's my paper. Now, I did get a few things from this year's collection, but no papers. So, I do have a stripe, though. I knew I did. I just had to find it. This is from Joyful, which was last year's. It's called Making a List from L Studio Joyful. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that down to 3x4. And then we'll pop that joy right on there. And once I do that, I don't love this card with it. I want to go back to this. Part of it is, this is so white, and this is kind of a cream based. And then this, yeah, yes, definitely, definitely. So let's, since I know this is going to work, let's get that card at least started. And now I've got ATG on my fingers. Good thing is it comes off pretty easily. And again, with this, I just put it on. If I need to, I just peel it back. which is what I needed to do here. Okay, so then I could there we go. Joy. And I'm just going to wait just to see if I want to add anything else to that card. I might want to put a little enamel dot or a heart or something there. Now let's go get this card cut down. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more off this edge so it'll leave a little bit more room for writing here. That's tricky. Okay, oops, so I shaved it and then I forgot to cut it the rest of the way down. So now I basically have two cards, and then this I could like decorate with washi tape or, you know, something else and make it fit. I don't think I cut that perfectly right though, because it's not gonna fit. Which means this piece I would probably have to mount on something, but oh well, it will be fine. Okay, so now does that fit? I'm gonna just check to make sure that I can tuck this in here, because if it's still too wide, I'm gonna wanna do something about that. Nope, it's good. Okay, so, oh, I love the way this spread is working out, because it's bringing in different colors than I've used before. This I'm going to reserve for writing, because there's a lot of writing that I wanna do about this. The more I look at this piece, the less I like it. So I'll put that back. I don't remember where that, oh yeah, that came from my little assortment here. And then there is a little white joy banner here. Okay, so I like that. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, because the edges are showing here. And I think if I do that, they won't be. I am getting a little bit, I'm trapping a little space there, but I'm going to live with it this time. Let's see. I want this banner coming down just a little bit so it touches. What I'm doing here is it's touching the photo and it's touching the paper. I'm just going to make sure that this works still. Yeah, okay. Now, the hard part, getting it on without shifting it terribly. Okay. And I only got it towards one side, but actually it's a banner, so I think that looks pretty good actually that way. I like that. I'm going to put that on there. Okay, like how that's coming up. Now, I think because I have the red and the green and the pink and the gray up in here, I've got green over here, my writing will be there. I think that'll be okay, because I want to leave lots of room for writing here. What I'd like to do though is get some more color here, and I think if I could hide that, that would be great. So I am going to go to these enamel dots. I'm looking for, okay. Okay, so I'm going to try this Bella Boulevard, which I think will look great for this one, but I'd also, I think, like to put it on here, and I'm not sure I'm going to like it. So sometimes when I audition things here, like it there. I do kind of like it there though. Yeah, just that little bit of dimension I think is good. And then I can put this one right here and it'll cover that trapped white space that I was talking about. Sneaky. These wouldn't have been big enough to do it. Let's see how that works. Perfect. Not that we're trying to achieve perfection, but I'm loving it. I think so. This is my favorite card so far. And I'm just gonna push that down, make sure it's on there. And I am really just about done. Now, I could look at maybe putting an enamel dot or something on this card, but I don't have any more in these and the colors aren't quite right with my October Afternoon ones here. So these are Bella Boulevard enamel doodads in Macintosh, by the way, in case you're wondering. These are Under the Tea Tree Pop Drops, which are from last year, but a store near me ordered more and I used them so much last year that I ordered more. So I don't, let me look at my red Doodlebug sprinkles here to see. I've got 2 packs. I ordered some more of these too because I knew I would use red. Do I want to maybe put like 2 of these up here really close together? Because the color isn't too off here. I don't like it there. Yeah, I think that's okay up there. Now the question is, do I want the big ones or the little ones? I thought I wanted the big ones, but let me look at the little ones and see what I think here. Or I could use 3 of them. Ooh, maybe that's what we want to do. Let's try that and see what I think. I'm not going to stick these down that hard. And these are all the same color, just making sure. I'm going to try this and see what I think. Like right along the edge there. Okay, this was kind of ingenious because I thought of this myself, is to put it on this sheet so I can audition them. And I can tell you I don't like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to 2 big ones up here, or 3, depending on what I think. I don't use these big doodads very often. That was me thinking, making that noise. And that S is coming down a little bit on the season. Yeah, in the end I like that. And then I only have 3 of these left on this sheet, so yay for me. And yay for me using the big ones, because like I said, I have a hard time using those. Okay, so I think this layout is good to go. I just need to do my journaling and I am all done for the day. So I hope you guys are all well. I hope you're enjoying the series. Thanks again for all of your really awesome, kind comments. And I will talk to you again tomorrow or within the next few days. Bye-bye.